So now we have actually used our first visual, which is matrix. We have seen how to use it. We have seen that matrix is a kind of a normal table which is containing a lot of columns. It might come from the same table, and it might come from a different tables. So let us go back for a second and see what was our requirement. So this is actually our requirement, which we have explained at the beginning of the course. And by creating our matrix, we have already fulfilled this task, which is showing the order quantity per product name. So this is already done. And also the return quantity per product name, this is also something which we have already done it, right? So for those two requirements, we have already created our first visual, our first matrix, which is containing the product name, the order quantity, and the return quantity. Now what we will do, we will skip our second requirement and fourth requirement. We will come back to it later, but now we will try to do the fifth requirement, which is the total revenue or profit for a certain time interval, Now for us to calculate the profit, we need to know the cost per product. So if we will go to the data tab, so here we have the product cost, we have the product price. So you all agree with me that if I will subtract the product price from the product cost, I'm going to get the margin, the profit per item, right? So this is something which I can do, and we will do it by using something we call it DAX. So our next topic will be about DAX, This is one of the ways to create a formula which will be able to give you a certain result as per your requirement. So now here, if we want to get the profit, we need to subtract the product price from the product cost. In this case, I will get the profit per item per quantity. And if I will use this value, if I will use this margin value, I can now go to the sales report and I can see what was the order quantity per product. So let us assume that the profit is 300 and here the order quantity is 1. That means the profit is 300, right? But if the quantity are 2, then the profit will be 300 multiplied by 2. So the margin was 300 per product per quantity, but now since the quantity are 2, so we will multiply 2 by 300. And if I will do the summation for that column, I will get the total profit for the whole 3 years, 2015, 16 and 17, right? So let us try to do that. Let us try to do this by actually using DAX. If I want to use DAX, if I want to create a formula, we all agree that we need to go to product. So let us try to do this by going to product. I'm going to subtract the product price by the product cost. But how to do that? To do this, we need to create a formula by using DAX. So to do that, we need to go to modeling, okay, from our main tab, and then I will go to new column. I will click on it. The moment I do that, I will be able now to create a formula. As you can see, now I have the column name. I can change, of course, the column header name. So I will call it margin. And then what I can do is I can create my formula. So we all agree that if I want to get the margin per product, I need to subtract the product price from the product cost. And this is what I will do. So for this, I'm going to say the product price. So here I am getting the product price column. I just need to write the name of the column. That's it. So the name of the column is product price. So this is the product price minus product cost. So this is actually the product cost, right? And then after that, press enter. Now we are going to see a new column which is added, here at the end of our table with the name margin. And as you can see, the value here is the subtraction between the product price and the product cost. This is actually the result of my formula. And as you can see, the result is different in each and every row. Based on the product price, I'm actually subtracting it from the product cost and getting the margin for that product. So that's why the value is different, of course, in each and every row. So this is actually the first step toward fulfilling our first requirement, which is calculating the total profit. So here we are having the profit per product, per quantity, right? So now what we need to do is we need to actually go to sales, and now what we will do, we will make use of that margin and we will multiply it with the actual sales. So now we know the profit, we know the margin we have per product, and now we need to really know what was our actually total profit. For that, what I will do is I'm going to first get the profit per item. I will get the profit, we can say per item which were sold. So for that, what I will do is I'm going to again go to modeling, a new column, and I'm going to create a formula, but this time what I will do, I will multiply the product margin which I have created before with what? With the order quantity, fine. So in this case I will know the actual profit which were generated by actually multiplying the margin of the product by the actual order quantity, fine. So I will go to modeling, I will click on new column, and now I will write my new formula, and I will call it profit per item, So what I need to do now, I need to multiply the order quantity with our margin per product. So I'm going to write related. Why I'm writing related? Because if I want to call a column from another table, we all know that the margin was in product table. So if I want to create a formula while I am in another table, now I am on sales table, right? So but I will still want to use the value of a certain column which is existing on another table. In this case, I need to use related. Function, and I will open and close parentheses, and within these parentheses I need to pass the name of the column which is coming from another table. In this case I will call it margin. So immediately, as you can see, if I will put the name of the column, immediately it is recognizing that it is coming from products table, and the name of the header is margin. So this is actually my margin, and I will just multiply it with the order quantity. So this is actually the order quantity. Very simple way. As you can see, DAX is a very simple way of creating a formula. So this is actually my formula, and let us click enter. So now, as you can see, I am getting the value, the profit per order quantity. This is how actually to calculate the profit per order quantity. Now you all agree that this is still a profit. Yes, this is a profit, but it is per order. It is per order quantity, right? What was what was the requirement here? It was the total revenue for a certain time interval. Maybe for the whole 3 years I want to know what were the total revenue. In this case, what we need to do, we need to look into the sales order here. It's actually what? It's actually 2015, 2016 and 2017, right? Fine. So now what we will do is we are going simply to do the summation for this column. If I'm going to do the summation for all of the values available in this column from the beginning until the end, I'm going to get the total profit for the whole 3 years. That is actually going to satisfy this requirement, the total profit. So for this to happen, let us again create a new column, okay, and we will use DAX. But here I want you to notice something which is very important, very important. So what we will do, a total summation. To do the summation, we need to use sum as a function. So there's a function which is sum. We are going to use it to actually add or do the summation for each and every value within the profit item. So I'm going to call it total. So I'm going to call it total profit. And now what we will do is we are going to apply or use a function which is sum. The function name is sum, and then after that close and open parentheses, and within that what we need to do, we need to pass the column which I want to do the summation for its value. So that's actually the profit underscore item. And now as you can see, this is actually the total profit, but can you see this? I'm actually getting the same number repeated again and again. The reason is that the total profit is not going to change in each and every row, right? So here, if I'm going to use calculated column, the answer will be actually different for each and every row, right? For each and every row, I'm going to get a different value. So this is what we call it a row context. So new column, this way of creating DAX will actually help you if you want to get a different value per row, But let us assume that you just want to do the total summation, so you are expecting only one value as a result. There will be no different value for each and every row. It's just a total summation for the whole values existing on this column. In this case, we can't use the new column. We can't use this option. So what we will use? We will use another option. Let me just delete total profit. And now I'm going to use the other way of using DAX, which is new measure. It is again another way to use DAX. Okay, we just need to actually apply the same formula but within a new measure. The difference, now you are going to see the difference. The difference is, let us assume that this is a total profit. Fine, this is a total profit, and we are going to say summation for the profit item, So now as you can see, if I will go here to this tab from the sales table, I have a new field which is total profit, but as you can see, I'm not able to get a new column here. So what is the difference between a new measure and a new column? New column means the result will be in a new column, but for the new measure, the result will be only represented or visible on the report view. You are not going to get a new column, and we have already seen that we don't want to get a new column. There is no benefit of showing the same value in each and every row, right? So that's why it is not it's not actually going to be used here. It will be used only on the report view. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to go to report view, and we are going to use our second visual, which is card. So here we have card. Just click on card, and then now what we need to do, we will go to sales, we will go to total profit, fine, and we will just put here a check mark. And now as you can see, I was able to get the value of the total profit, the value of the total profit for the 3 years. Later on we will see how we can actually customize it to make it for a certain time period, but for now this is actually fulfilling my requirement that I just wanted to calculate the total profit. So this is actually how to use DAX, and this is the difference between a new column and the new measure. Again, for the new column, it's going to create, or it's going to show you the result by creating a new column which will be added to your table. But for the new measure, no, this is different. You will be using the same DAX formula, but the result will be only shown on the report view. It's not going to add a new column, because again, adding the new column, it's not going to be helpful. You are going to get just same value again and again. So you just want to show this on the report view. That's why we use a new measure. If you want to know again more about the differences and why these options are there, you are most welcome to attend our live session, VILT session, and we will have more discussion about it. So now we have already fulfilled half of the requirement, but still we need to do the other half, which is for a certain time interval. So I want to show the total profit. Now I'm showing the total profit for the whole 3 years, but let us assume that I want to show the total profit for a certain month, for a certain year. For this, we are going to use slicer. So here we have our third visual, which is the slicer. Click on slicer, and then after that, what we will do, we are going to just click on the order date, and now you have actually the slicer, which is going to help you to actually choose a certain time interval between 2015 and 2017. Let us assume that I just want to profit for 2015. So I'm going to actually change the slicer, and I will make it only for 2015. So as you can see, everything, all the other visuals were updated to show you the first year, which is 2015. And if you want also for only 1 month, for only January, you can also do that, right? So this is actually how to show the total revenue, for a certain time interval. Now you can choose what is the product name, what is the order quantity for a certain period, and what was the return quantity for a certain period. Also, you can show the total profit for a certain period of time. With this, we have already fulfilled the 5th requirement. Next, we are going to see how we can get the total quantity order per subcategory and the product category, and also we are going to see how to get the territory which is having more orders.